Hey everyone, this is BTC News and this is the report.
Today we will be discussing an epidemic that has emerged in Europe in the late 1340s.
Oh my gosh.
It's the Black Death.
The Black Death? Where from?
The Black Death erupted in the Gobi Desert in the late 1320s. Don't ask why, no one knows, and it spread in every direction.
OMG. What is the Black Death? I know it's an epidemic, but...
Well, its medical term is a bubonic plague. It's mostly carried by rodents.
Oh gosh, another person playing with animals.
No, silly fleas infest the animal and carry it over to human hosts.
Oh, why didn't you just say that?
If you would have let me finish. Anyway, the flea then rushes the blood from the rat into the human. Both the rat and human dies. The flea eventually dies.
Looks grim for everyone.
Sure is.
How does it come?
Epidemic plague and pneumonic plague.
What?
Epidemic plague, which attacks the blood, and pneumonic plague, which attacks the lungs.
Well, I still don't get how it got to the West.
It reached Cyprus in the late summer 1347. In October of the same year, Genoese fleet landed at Messina, Sicily, and Italy by winter. The next year, in January, the plague was in Marseilles, Paris in spring, and England by fall. Then Germany and the Low Countries. That was the worst plague for the years. Norway got hit in May 1349. Europeans 1350 and Russia 1351. The disease tended to follow trade routes.
That's the Near East, the Mediterranean, the Western, then into Northern Europe, and finally back into Russia.
Wow, that plague spread faster than a high school rumor.
Sure did, but what's worse is how it left the places.
It changed the economy, art, politics, and had a huge population loss.
Wow. How did it change the economy?
Well, in cities, financial businesses was disrupted because people in debt died, and their creditors found themselves without recourse. People in debt died along with their families and most of their kinsmen. Construction stopped, guilds lost after their craftsmen and couldn't replace them. Machinery could break, and the only people who would fix them were dead. The labor shortage was even worse, but wages rose. There was oversupply of goods, so prices dropped. Effects in the countryside were bad, so farms and villages died out. They wanted to have more forced labor for peasants. The peasants demanded lighter burdens and fairer treatments.
That's what I'm talking about, peasants. But the economy was seriously affected. What happened with their politics?
It didn't have a permanent effect on politics. King Alfonso XI of Castile was the only reigning monarch to die of the plague, but few notables died. Parliaments were adjourned when the plague struck. The 100 Years' War was suspended in 1348 because many soldiers died. City councils were devastated. Whole families of nobles were wiped out. Courts closed down.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of people died.
Yeah, the population loss in Europe was 1 out of 3.
Whoa, Nelly.
Nothing like this has ever happened before. Between 45% and 75% of Florence died.
That's like a passing grade.
Yeah, urban populations recovered quickly, but rural recovered themselves slowly. Some groups took centuries before recovering, such as friars.
What happened with their art?
Well, by the 1300s, many parts of Europe had been visited by the plague. You can see a major change in the tomb sculptures. The body goes in the coffin, which in turn can be decorated in religious carvings. Before, sculptures showed the Lord in his armor, or the lady in her best clothes. In the 1400s, the sculptures of some showed worms and snails burrowing in the rotting flesh.
Gross.
Yeah, they even had a dance of the death, called the Dance Macabre.
Oh, a dance?
Yeah.
What's it like? The stinky legs?
Do the stinky legs, do the stinky legs. Okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
This is a news report. You ask more questions than you actually report.
Well, that's why I'm the best reporter here, you know?
How?
Well, I ask questions to get the full story and report it. Watch. The Black Death, also known as the bubonic plague, spread from 1347 to 1350, but left a huge impact on it after that. You can get it from your lungs or through blood. It came from rodents, fleas carried them, and humans died from them. So many people died, a ratio of 1 out of 3. Eventually, everyone was able to move on, but at the time, many things were stopped financially and less labor work. Their art advanced, some in strange ways. Either way, everyone was affected from it, and nothing has ever been this bad. Well, that's my report, and I'm Bryanna.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Sashay.
And this is BTC News Report. Hello everyone, this is, what is this?
BTC News Report.
Yeah, BTC!
In the late 1320s, don't ask why no one Kiwi. I'm sorry. You gotta go.
How does it come?
To come in, play, and alright, stop. Start over.
Do the stanky leg, do the stanky leg.
Hey, do stank leg.
Yeah, what you know about the bubonic plague? Tell us, you know? Nope, nothing? Are you serious?
This is history, son.
Come on!
What grade you in? What grade you in?
What grade you in?
Huh? You
Nice. You should be learning about this. What are you talking about? You don't pay attention to global?
We can change the lane, what's happening? Cause you look so good. Tell me why you wanna work here. I put you on the front page of a King magazine, but you gon' get yourself hurt here. Hey, baby, I brought you in the back just to have a conversation. I really think you need some ventilation. Let's talk about you.